Up to the stage. Thanks, Graham. Next inductee into the 2023 Albury Football Association Hall of Fame is Bill Luders. In early 1973, Bill was relocated to Albury through his employment. The only local club in Albury, Albury United, played the Victorian North East League based around Shepparton. He decided Albury was large enough to have its own soccer competition, so he attended an Albury United soccer meeting to raise this possibility. He was able to garner enough interest to form a group to pursue his goal, and look where we are today. Many meetings followed to firstly design a constitution and then to organise some training sessions for anyone interested to attend in football. By June 1973, AWFA had been formed and senior and junior football games were being played. The new association played its first games on Sunday, 4th of July 1973. Bill was elected Vice President of the new association. Bill's portfolio was to develop junior soccer. He was able to attract enough boys to form 3 teams. They were attached to Hotspurs, Lavington and Melrose Park Rangers. The association had started with 64 senior players and 35 juniors. It's grown to over 2,500 players. In the same year, Bill formed Albury Hotspurs Soccer Club and became the first president of that club. He became a fully accredited coach in 1975, completing a 4-day program over 2 weekends with a coaching instructor from Sydney. Bill coached the under-14 team in 1975 and followed with many more junior teams. He's a life member of the Albury Hotspurs. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Luders.
Thank you. Who ever thought 50 years ago that we'd be here celebrating the way we are with the number of players we have in the association now? As you just heard, it was a very, very humble start. It all began in 1973 when I went to the annual meeting of Albury United to see if I could get a game of soccer for my son who just moved to Albury. And I found to my horror that they had one junior team, an under-15 team, that played in the North East League. I stood up and asked, what about juniors? And they said, oh yes, we've got an under-15 team. And I said, what? I've just come from a town of 3,500 people, 1/10 the size of Albury, that has 16 teams of juniors playing every Saturday. By that standard, you should have about 160 teams under your umbrella. And they said, oh, nobody wanted to do anything about it. So, as I walked off in disgust at that meeting, I was approached by Hans Laramie and Mike Smith. And they said, are you fair dinkum about a junior team? I said, yeah, why not? And they said, let's have a beer. So we sat down there in the Boomerang Hotel and we hatched a plan to establish the association. Now, that was the steering committee that was formed of myself, but Mike Smith was in the chair, Ian Barker was secretary, Jim McKinnon treasurer, Hans Laramie was senior coordinator, I was junior coordinator, and Frank Bannister senior from Albury United, he was in charge of referees and judiciary. And we formed a steering committee. We met in Laramie's house for 6 weeks every Wednesday night and formulated the plans and floated the association, called a public meeting in around about June 1973, and the association kicked off from there. So people said, you started the association. That's a very long bow to draw. Certainly my question and my comments was the spark that lit the fire. That there's a lot of people done a lot of work over the last 50 years to create this association, which you can all be justly proud of. So it's very humble underlings received this appreciation of what I did, and I thank you all for it. And I hope you have a very good evening and great memories, and another 50 years to go. And in 10 years' time, I'll be here for the 60th.
Thank you.